Hello and welcome back. I am Damien with Project Omnia, and today I'm here to watch and react to Season 4, Episode 3 or Season 4, Episode 4 of Attack on Titan. So, even though I am a manga reader, I kind of glossed over a bunch of things last week with last week's episode, particularly with Reiner. I know he wasn't really chosen. I mean, yes, while your dedication to Marley is it's quantified in some way by the higher ups in their decision to pick warriors out of the warrior candidates. It is pretty rare, if not something that just doesn't happen, for someone to be chosen based upon that singular principle alone, right? Um, but Marcel, Porco's brother, ended up basically flipping everything. He didn't want his brother to die, so he talked up Reiner and he talked down his brother so Reiner would be chosen as the next armored titan. And of course, he gets eaten, right? But really, the reason I wanted to bring that up was because, of course, that plays a major role in, for one, just like Reiner's mental break, right? And then for two, um, Porco had mentioned it in episode 2 about how basically it was pissing him off that Reiner was acting like Marcel, and Marcel is basically who Reiner modeled his soldier persona off of. And I just noticed my poster there in the back. Whatever. But anyways, so that's kind of where Reiner got that from, and Porco doesn't like Reiner. But I mean, Reiner in general has just he has had a lot of issues in terms of, first of all, he is a great example of what Marley wants in terms of indoctrination. He drank that Kool-Aid happily instead of just drinking it because he was told to, right? Um, and that's kind of also reinforced, which I also didn't talk about, by his mother at the beginning of the episode. I haven't spoken much about her. I'm actually kind of forgetting her name at the moment, but in general, you could say she's characterized as someone, like, I mean, she truly hates the fact that she was born an Eldian, right? So there's a lot of like self-loathing and shit like that going on with her, and she kind, anyone in that situation would do this, so don't take this the wrong way. But of course, that means it bled into her parenting and how she is. So Reiner basically never got away from it, right? While other warrior candidates, when they weren't doing their training and stuff, may have gone home and, to the internment camps, and they probably weren't hearing a bunch of self-loathing rhetoric at home on top of everything that was going on while they were being trained. Um, now, that's just conjecture. I could be wrong there. Um, but to me, that's because, like, I was talking to someone recently, and they mentioned, because I'm pretty harsh on even adults who, especially adults who are self-loathing in that way, and so even though you didn't see a lot of it in the reaction, because I just had to cut a bunch of stuff. Um, in terms of like Eldians, the Eldian adults in internment zones in Marley, I don't have much of a favorable or sympathetic opinion of them because I fully believe, basically once your brain's fully developed, that you not overcoming indoctrination, propaganda, social conditioning, those three things, at that point, to me, it is on you. Um, that has a lot to do with my own personal philosophies and things like that. But, I kind of wanted to get that out of the way. And I wanted to talk about those things because it was really kind of sad that I kind of just glossed them over in the post discussion last week. So I wanted you guys to kind of know. I don't even know why I got this in. But, so we kind of ended off last episode with Reiner, or not with Reiner, with Falco having a conversation. I'm just going to say it with Aaron. There's been a little controversy surrounding some reaction channels and anime onlys being spoiled by manga readers. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I do want to say that while I am a manga reader, I do think some people should be a little more respectful. That even though, and I do agree that it was set up for people to understand that was Aaron at the end of the episode, that doesn't mean every viewer is going to catch what is being thrown down. Okay? And so in those instances, I really think it's best for us just to keep anyone, whether you be a manga reader or an anime only who just figured it out, right? At that point, you should just let them discover for themselves, right? And I kind of hope people will do that more as the season goes on. Because now there's some reaction channels that even I like to follow that they know it's Aaron, even though they didn't originally figure it out, because they were told by people in their comment section. And now, I was really looking forward to any of the people that didn't piece it together before a certain point in the story. I was really looking forward to their reaction in that moment. Where, the confused manga readers, like myself, by the way. So, the moment I'm talking about to get animated, I'm not going to say what it is. But until that moment came, I had no clue that was Aaron. So, just like a few reactors and anime onlys from last week's episode didn't catch that it was Aaron there, I didn't catch it was Aaron there in the manga. Now, of course, in the manga, there was no voice acting and all that and blah blah. But the point still remains. Just, let people figure out for themselves, right? But of course, Aaron and Falco had a conversation, and it was, well, it was quite crazy. So we are going to begin now.
こんな時間にどこへ行くんだ。忘れ物をしたんで、これから本部に取りに戻るところです。ファルコ、頼みたいことがある。クルガさん。
Mr. Kruger. Oh, a letter, huh?
だと俺が仮病だってバレちゃうから。いいですよ。
Interesting soundtrack choice here.
おい、何の騒ぎだ。タイバーでご一行がライブ
Oh,
されました。
Tiber family is here. With them real-life soldiers.
Nice place, Nego.
私がタイバー家当主ビリー。
Willie Tiber.
戦士隊隊長。
That bumptious ass kid. Look at that.
見抜けましたか。一族の誰が戦鎚の巨人か。本当にここにお越しになっている
Look
の
at
か
that.
さ。
Saving the Marleyan military has no clue.
話に聞いた通り資料深い。戦鎚の巨人はこの中に。
Oh, and Tiber, the anime, just confirmed to you that it's definitely someone that's here.
ヘロス像を見に来た。
Statue of Heroes.
100年前、人間でありながら大地の悪魔を打ち破り、まさにマーレの魂そのものだ。ええ、まさしく。銅像の中は空洞ですし。噂ではマーレの徴兵制復活を働きかけている。マーレ人の戦争とは新聞の活字にのみ存在します。
So that's pretty
字を
interesting.
読むだなおのことを
He wants to have Marleyan conscripture.
に弾が耳の横を書くには自戒するまで戦争への歩みを止
And
めない
he
でしょう。
seems to have a distaste for war.
もしマーレを裏から操る者がいるなら言ってやりたい。 党に手遅れだと。察しの通り、この国はタイバー家の権限下にある。
And boom! Your brain just exploded.
我々はマーレーの食材として自由と力を与えた。
So Tiber family controls
エルディア
Marley.
のマーたちは来たる祭事において世界に全てを明かすつもりだ。英雄像を見に来たのは嘘ではない。テオマガト、今一度この手を握ってくれまいか。
And this is another example of why sometimes manga readers need to keep their mouth shut. This is from chapter 93-ish, 94.
それも一つの手でしょう。
Going over the game plan.
しかし、大型船が着岸可能な桟橋は依然として鳩場のみです。
Duh.
私は私の知り得る情報をご参考までにと。
分かった。もういい。エルディア人に喋るの我々が間違っていたんだ。
Yeah, shut your whole face.
Hey! You're talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
I don't respond well to that shit.
作戦は順調だな。どんな作戦を告げられるか楽しみだ。
Some ridiculous plan.
4人の子供に全てを託すとかね。
No. This is a training scene that people were also upset with in the last episode. So Falco finally beats Yevi. Historic. Oof. Headbutt.
対象になるわけない。私は戦果を上げて祖国に貢献したんだから。
その日が来るまで。
Yeah.
俺はやることをやるだけだ。
What now, Gabby?
おい、あいつかっこ
Not showing off.
何のためにそこまでするの？お前のためだよ。
Oh, damn.
いっちゃったぜ、おい。
はあ？私の邪魔しといて、私のためだって言いたいわけ？
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense why she wouldn't get it.
何あいつ？何なの？
お前は俺たちの救世主だ。
Who the hell are you, fat ass?
いや、私ゾフィアなんで。
Hugging the wrong person. Got a treat.
ブラウン副長みたいに大きくなるんだよ。
ありがとうございます。
Alright, anime let cat out of the bag. I mean, you already knew because they were kind of planning, but officially they're using this festival to declare war on paradise.
外国のエルディア人に対する敵はここの日じゃない。
なおさら
That's
何もし
not
ない
like,
わけに
like Marley is the tame nation with their hatred.
エル
Like,
ディア
get
人
the
を理
fuck
解
out
し
of
て
here.
もらうためだ。
Yeah.
可愛いし頭もいいもんだから偉い人ローラ
I mean, you're
しまくりで
pretty good at bootlicking.
あんたら今度ファルコひいきしたら泣かすからマガト隊長だ。
こちらも。大掛かりな解体工事が必要だと。
Large scale
老
demolition.
朽化が深刻でしたので。おめでとう
Wonder what
で
that
す。
could be about.
軍はあなたのものだ。いいえ。そして
Bam.
この国の最高司令官は
So he answers to you.
それは少し違うな。先代の誰もこれを握ろうとしなかったのがわかる。重すぎる。その者どもによると、我が家にはすでにネズミが入り込んでいる。
Don't mind that, guys. So I wonder what they was talking about there, guys.
今から
More conversations with Aaron and Falco.
迷わず突き進めそうです。そうか。
Yes. Keep moving
感謝
forward.
したいのは俺の方。何度も手紙のやり取りを手伝ってくれておかげで助かった。それは
Baseball glove.
家族の方からですか？祭りが終わったら故郷に帰るとするが。
Oh, how sweet. Aaron's going back
そ
home.
うですか。
So he says.
来ます。
区の診療医のイエーガーだ。ここにはたまにお
Yeah.
茶を飲む。
Jaeger, you say. It's in your
少
chatterbox.
年の叔父はエルディア復権派の幹部だった。
It's uncle, you don't
復
say.
権派は楽園をあの子にお使いを頼むのはおやめなさい。おかしな
This
疑いを
Jaeger
かけら
doctor
れ
isn't
て
so
は
stupid, is
裏
he?
付けの努力もう会えなくなってからでは後悔を残してから
You
では
don't
遅い。
say. I'm not sure if you guys have pieced it together, but you do know this doctor. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and this really just told you who the fuck this was. This is actually Aaron's granddad. Oh, but look. He is also a patient here. Oh, look at Regal's foot.
余計な話しない。測れ。
Treating us like a drill.
ご婦人いかがなされました？
お恥ずかしい。ワインを着物にこぼしてしまいまして手を借りていましたの。
Well, look at this. Right.
あなたがどんな目に遭うかわからないでしょう。
It's true. She did in fact save your bitch ass. Of course she did. Hizuru. It's actually abbreviated the full clan name. Banquet before the festival for the higher ups. Yes, yesterday's enemy is today's friend. I don't think you're too popular right now. Yeah. Willie understands. Alright. Video and tournaments, eh? Like a peace thing. Yeah, exactly. Perpetuating the cycle. War! First ever theater production, you say. Gabby snoozing. Oh, shit. I mean, who thought you would ever see this in Attack on Titan, right? Right. Right. Oh, kids actually getting to be kids. How nice. Buying your pan for everything. Look at this man. He's gonna be broke. Yeah, but that makes you happy. Fuck, are we already to the end of the episode?
ファルコは？
さっき知り合いを見つけたとかでどっか行きました。
What the hell are you doing, Falco?
ブラウン副長、ちょっといいですか。
What do you want with Ryder?
一体どうしたんだ？
こちらです。来ましたよ。
よ、4年ぶりだな。
Oh, this fucking soundtrack. Oh, fuck yes. Alright. Cutting the preview short. So that was Season 4, Episode 4 of Attack on Titan. This one was actually paced much slower, even though it might have seemed frantic to you anime-onlys than the previous episodes. We covered about 1.5 chapters here. Probably a little closer to with some of the stuff we went back to, like the Piek on all fours scene with Porco. But in general, major takeaways from this show, well, from this episode. So Tiber family is here. Warhammer Titan is among the members that are here. The Tiber family is the true, basically, power behind the Marley Nation. They're the ones that basically run it. Magath knows this. Magath isn't as a complete douchebag as you might believe at first. He seems to not be very much for war. More so, he's just doing his part while war is going on. But he does have a desire to kind of get rid of this bloodthirst that the Marleyan Nation has. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything, guys. We had also something we returned to was the Falco beating Gabby in a foot race thing during training. that was great to see. Falco also, he technically confessed his feelings for Gabby in that moment, but she's too dense to really get it at this moment because she still sees becoming a warrior as such a high honor. She doesn't see how Falco could think that getting the armored power instead of her is helping her. Nor why he would want to do that, since she can't grasp, how it would help her. But if she was to grasp the how, she would be able to grasp the why. See, other than that, there was an interesting conversation. Now, I don't want to just give you guys the answer. I could here in post-discussion, but I wonder what you guys think of that conversation that Magath and Willie had in front of the stage while it was being set up in the middle of the day. In particular, Magath mentioned that they were already infested with rats. So I'm kind of interested what you guys thought of that conversation. I mean, I already know what that conversation was about, but I don't want to just give you guys answers, and I really like hearing what you guys have to say. Let's see, we've covered that. There's another brief conversation with Falco and Aaron where, well, for one, Aaron has this baseball glove which he said he got from his family. As for if that's where he got it from, who knows? He talked about how he was going to go home after the festival to Falco. Given the end of this episode, I'll let you deduce if that's what's going to happen or not. But really, the interesting thing about that bench scene was what happens after Falco leaves. So, actually, real quick, Aaron has taken on the Kruger name for while he's there in this mental ward, right? Which, if you don't remember, Aaron Kruger, the owl, the attack titan that gave the power to Grisha before Aaron had it. Okay. But he had a conversation with a full-grown person who introduced themselves as Dr. Yeager at first. They are clearly a patient within this mental facility. And so he's clearly no longer a practicing doctor. But obviously through that conversation you do learn that is Aaron's grandfather. That is Grisha's dad. And basically all those events from when Grisha took Faye outside the walls and everything that transpired in their lives after that, up until everything we had seen at the end of last season, clearly had a very negative impact on this man. And so now he's fucked in the head. We also got discussion about the plan for the Paradise attack. Clearly the Marleyan generals and things don't trust Eldians in the slightest, even to plan an attack, even if it's coming from a warrior who has been on the island, knows how their military operates, and basically is a walking, talking book of information on how to fuck over Paradise Island, right? And then the warriors, in contrast, Marley command to them is a joke. They understand that they're pretty fucking stupid when it comes to warfare, at least when it comes to warfare as it pertains to Paradise Island, right? Because, Piek, she had that snarky remark about sending 4 kids to the island, that'll probably be their plan. I mean, she's not wrong. But, child soldiers are good for indoctrination and things like that, so that's why Marley uses them. And then we had that banquet party, and I had kind of forgotten exactly what that was about, but that was mostly between the Mideast Allied forces, who you had seen getting their ass literally beaten into the ground and destroyed in episode 1 with the Marlians and some other world powers, right? And it was kind of just like a get together for them to have their first peaceful gathering after the peace negotiations, right? So there was that, and in that, the Hizuru clan woman kind of helped out Udo, right? Because he spilled that wine on her kimono after he heard all those racist ramblings going on. And she covered for him, so it didn't look like he did it. And of course, that definitely saved him in some capacity. I mean, would he have been killed for that? Who says? But would he have been punished to some degree? And would it have been way over the top? Definitely. But then we get to the festival. I mean, they really just montaged it, right? But it wasn't really that long in the manga either, from what I remember. Like, maybe half of the chapter. Maybe. And it was kind of funny, Reiner basically being the one paying for all the snacks of the kids, Udo, Sophia, Falco, Gabby. And every time a new shot came in, at least to me, it looked like his eyes was getting darker. Probably because he was getting more and more broke by the second. But that was where the episode got into the ED, and of course we were after credits, which thankfully I normally check for those, but I was also warned that yes, there is a post-credit this episode. So I wasn't missing it this week for sure. And that was, we are at the night of the, well, I mean, it's the night of the festival, so it's still the same day. But, stage is being prepped and everything. People getting in their seats and everyone's getting ready for Willie's speech and everything. But Falco's nowhere to be found. Apparently he went off to see someone that he knew. He comes back real quick. Wants Reiner to come with him. There's someone that wants to see him. Gets him down in this basement. And Reiner is confronted by Aaron. This is gonna be fun. So, I'm really interested to know where you guys think this is going. Because again, I mean, I already know, so I'm not going to sit here and try to theorize. Because anything I say, you guys are either going to interpret, you could interpret as me trying to throw you off, so then you're automatically going to throw that out. Or that I'm trying to lead you to maybe my position on something. But I just want you guys to kind of experience this. I can't tell you I'm excited for what's coming. Not just with this conversation, but I mean just everything in general. I love Attack on Titan. But, so I mean that's sort of the episode left off. And the worst part about it is, for those of you who do not know, we have a 2-week wait now between this episode and the next episode. So we don't get one on January 3rd. It'll be January 11th that we get episode 5. And I, for one, cannot wait. But that was my reaction and review for Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 4. And if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.